Well, let's see if the first half jitters are over. We get a little bit of an offensive flow here in the second half. That's a pretty good start.
Vassell was the leading three-point to the prominence of a decade ago that it had in the Big East.
One brick at a time. And we see those bricks in their locker room. It's a great display.
11th Panthers turnover gives it back to Florida State. Jump stop and the finish for Vassell.
Pitt really struggling offensively. Florida State starting to get their offensive mojo here a little bit.
Forrest. Oh, how about that finish from Vassell?
Good offensive execution. Trent Forrest right.
Vassell backed out. Murphy deep in a stance. A three over top, and it's good.
It was bounced around a little bit. Possible Florida State.
Off the inbounds, the alley-oop, and that works to their probably top NBA prospect, Devin Vassell. Crazy.
Comes a little screen, no communication. Curls right around the screen. I mean, you got to step out and close that lane off. I mean, you can't let him.
Nebhart loses the ball again with his dribbling. A turnover and a break. Nice pass, and Vassell with a finish.
That was a terrific fast break transition. Patient, sharing the ball, moving without the ball, making shots.
He follows it. Oh! And he gets it to go. Devin Vassell from the star today for Florida State.
Football team won a game yesterday, too.
Sure they did. Good follow by Vassell, and he'll go to the line.
Pressure off of Faulkner and, not having to handle the basketball that much.
Oh, Stager with a errant dribble. Walker picks it up. Vassell wide open on the end.
Half, and then having to knock down a three. But there's the no weak side help.
How wide he is and his ability to be able to finish at the rim.
He's a big, strong young man. Another turnover. Now Florida State is pulling away. Showtime for Williams.
Try to work as much as you can to get open looks. St. Francis with a little 2-2-1 trying to slow Florida State down.
But they're not going to do it there as Vassell gets it inside the ball shot.
As one of their biggest things they are trying to do tonight, get the ball out of his hand and keep him out of the paint.
It is Johnson on the drive. Polite in there with the strip. Vassell up ahead, throwing it down. Offense to offense, Adrian.
That is the staple of Leonard Hamilton's basketball team. And early on this year, that wasn't really the case. And this is one of the things I know, talking to assistant coach Steve Smith today. They cannot stop dribble penetration, then they're going to struggle this year.
Well, here comes Devin Vassell.
Hey, I see you, young fella. Some light for the people.
Well, let's take another look at that.
Devin Vassell, get yourself on Sports Center.
And the way that we're going to be able to showcase our student athletes, but it's really being able to do it in every phase. And that's what allowed us to
building a lot. Hope to see a lot of plays like this one.
Oh, no question, and that's what's exciting. You look at the progression of all of our athletics.
Allows Forrest the chance to penetrate to the paint. Nice slip by Sims.
What a block! Vassell.
Last year, 20 feet 9 inches. Inside one more time, good skip pass. This is Vassell taking baseline and lobbing it up there, continuing to get anything they want. Olenicuk that time. Sams caught up that time, picked up his dribble. James, tough pass. Vassell roaming, look out. Here's the lob.
It over. This thing could go from what is it, a 12-point game to a 20-point game real quick. North Florida's got to be careful when we come back.
Dave Cowens also.
Ooh, wow, old school Celtics. And now another turnover. Oh, you might want a timeout if you're Matthew Driscoll here. You can't allow.
Penetrates, dishes, blocked from behind. That was Vassell. Olenicuk. Good night. Also had some air ball threes in the second half. Trent Forrest going strong. Kick back out. Rising is Vassell, and he hits it. Quality shot. Second lead. Huge call and an opportunity. Off the double team, they throw it away. And this is Forrest.
For the big fellow when he runs, he gets a block on one end, sprints the floor, and you got to get him a touch because they'll keep doing it for you.
Another block for the Seminoles, and it caroms out of play.
They came out of the break in a 1-2-2, dropped back into a 1-2-2 zone. They mix their defense up about 10% of the time. They'll switch and go zones and things like that.
Vassell with the feed to Koprivica.
Great pass, great finish.
Vassell picks the pocket of Youngblood. Forrest back to Vassell.
Malik Osborne's the big man. Still no sign of Balsha Koprivica after he took the hard fall earlier. Alvarado on the run out. Vassell, his second block today. Tenuous spot in this game if you're Georgia Tech. Vassell from Forrest. Timeout, Georgia Tech.
There's almost nobody better in the country, and great vision by Trent Forrest. Moses Wright, you got to bust it all the way back. He eased up at the end. Vassell did not, and he throws it down.
This is not a vintage ACC from top to bottom as we've seen over the years. Good defense right there.
Vassell with a steal and the hit ahead to Forrest. He'll lean in and bank it home.
Tremendous two-man play.
Starting 1 of 7 from the floor.
Florida State with its 13-2 record. Tough shot. Vassell.
Right on line with it, and I was wondering how the geometry was going to work out. Just snuck it inside the top corner.
Green there from Huff on Vassell. He's shaking up.
He helps lead the break to the bucket, and Key lets him go for the game-tying flush.
Locked in, more discipline, and you can already see it.
Already one bucket off that backdoor cut. This time it's a turnover.
That's the adjustment made.
Vassell, oh my goodness. Take off from 12 feet.
Like a gazelle. You gotta love this. After the deflection, runs the floor on the secondary break. Nobody commits to him. Ooh. Two-hand flush. Locates the camera at the end. My favorite part of the whole play.
Huff comes up to Hedge. Forrest dribbles it out. Gray drives, kicks. Vassell, yes, from 3.
Blake's trying to break free. Vassell blocked it. Walker can't follow.
Vassell's best game right there.
Another turnover. 10 of them for the Canes. Vassell, the trailer.
One thing Florida State does extremely well is get out in transition. This is a big part of their offense. Really nice passing, and Vassell does a great job running the court.
Wyatt Wilkes, beautiful shot fake. Vassell rises and hits.
Boy, and that was a deep three. That was almost on the orange of the U.
Trent Forrest gives it up. Devin Vassell got it. Another big one. It's only a mismatch if, he's able to get by it. A turnover. Forrest the lob. Notre Dame got up by as many as 11, but Devin Vassell and the Seminoles on the comeback trail at home. Vassell drills one.
You know, what can't he do?
Point shooting teams in the country. And after Old Tenside went 7 for 14 against Wake Forest, they're in need of somebody to knock down threes. And Raekwon Gray has hit 2 tonight.
Someone else has to stand up. What looks so far could possibly be Radford. You see Vassell knock down that mid-range jumper.
Hokies have made 4 of their last 5 shot attempts. Crossing the 8-minute threshold of the first half. Vassell stepping back, unselfishly inside to Wilkes. Noles have led by as many as 9 in this first half. Vassell lets it fly and hits another 3. A minute and change to go in regulation. Vassell steps right into it. Wow. Ripping the ropes for the Noles. Devin Vassell, 25 points from 3-point distance.
And you see being able to use his length and be able to step into that jump shot.
The mark that time, another rebound for Raekwon Gray. Devin Vassell. Jay Billis, our colleague, called him the most underrated star in the ACC.
That's really been the whole season this year. Lack of making shots is really total.
Vassell looked like he got a piece of the shot by Justin Pierce.
Mind when it comes, even this time of the year during college basketball season. Forrest with the depth over the top. Vassell with the slam on a dynamic play.
Hot hand. And then here, live ball turnovers. That's an unforced error. Trent Forrest knows what to do with it upstairs, and Vassell capitalizes. He's a beautiful athlete. Reminds me a lot of Paul George
Here's Daniels slashing from the wing and blocked from behind out of bounds by Vassell. State's had a turnover issue here in the last few minutes. And now Vassell picks Johnson. He'll try and beat Helms to the rack and one.
Breakdown here. Johnson looking. Cookies! Devin Vassell the other way with the layup.
For Malik Osborne. It's not your traditional 5, and there's Vassell and one.
All right, seamless right there. That's a great delivery. Stepping into it with momentum at 6'7". The length, the body control, the athleticism to the forefront.
Devin Vassell's had a very quiet night. He's fouled for Vassell.
Vassell was calling for the ball because he liked that matchup and wanted to take it on. And he did give a little chicken wing there to knock McMahon back. There wasn't a lot of contact up there.
He's doing enough offensively off the dribble to hang with the Seminoles here. Vassell with a pull-up. Swish. You can't be soft against Florida State. Devin Vassell.
I think Devin Vassell's got to get a touch.
There's a touch and a three right on cue.
For Wake in that game, it was their first back-to-back wins in ACC play for the first time in 3 years. Three to shoot. Vassell drives and with the right hand gets the roll.
Buy-in has allowed Florida State to shine.
Up and down the roster, you see 19, 20, 21 minutes on average for a lot of guys, because when they go in, it's as hard as they can go for a few minutes. Mike Bray, one of the talking points for him coming into this game of things they needed to improve upon. In a game where Florida State was without their standout freshman, Patrick Williams. The baseline floater, count it.
Vassell, who he had no advantage on. You got to foul. You can't foul like that.
No doubt about that one. He was behind the line.
They've got Clark the other end though. He's their best. Okay. He's making 42% from behind the arc. Just a great rush up the floor.